Hello, I'm Sahara. Happy holidays to you. And I felt called to put out another video blog to talk about the energy of what's going on right now around us. And this is something I've talked about kind of every winter season, but I've never actually made a video on it. And as the solstice comes around, people kind of equate its meaning to embracing the darkness that's here. But actually, it's embracing the returning of the light that is within you. So you may have been experiencing in the last few months, maybe about 6 weeks, some internal struggle that has been there, some kind of inner conflict, undercurrent irritation, depression, fighting some kind of lull in your system where your own vibration has felt lower than what you know that you're capable of putting out to the world and to yourself. And really it's because we are connected to the energy of this earth. People tend to have such a separation from the idea that we are energetic beings, just like the trees, and are going to go through the cycles that are on this earth of the seasons. It doesn't matter if you're in the tropics or if you're in the Antarctic, you're still going to experience whatever gravitational pull is occurring, whatever solar energy that is coming down on the earth, whatever pull on the moon that is there and around you, you will still feel that. And because we live in a society where it's so separated and pavement, electric lights, that darkening time is kind of stifled because we have the capacity to turn on lights during the dark hours. So our bodies aren't really in tune to the rhythms of the earth in the way that they would have been or would be if our future aligned itself a little bit more with the rhythms of the earth and honoring the natural rhythms in our bodies. But because of the industrial age and the mass marketing of the industrial age in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, our societies, pretty much around the world now, have become one where we just kind of ignore the natural rhythm of this time, and we ignore it in the workforce, where if we have a project, if it's equivalent to the seasons of the year, we have this new idea that sprouts up inside, and say it's equivalent to a seed germinating in the spring, and that energy pulls up, and all of a sudden there's all this exuberance and this movement of wanting to create something, and all that growth occurs, and then the project, whatever it is created, and then it ends. And it's the same as the spring, new growth, the summer produces the fruit, the fall, it ends. But what we are missing in this society is an honoring of the pause. So even in the book of Exodus, it is written, on the seventh day God rested. It was a pause. An example of how it is important for us to honor that pause in our lives, to honor that pause in our work, to honor the pause in our art, in any kind of output that we have. There needs to be a re-equilibration back to the natural vibration that we had coming into this earth. But the challenge is that we are taught in most modern societies to go, to produce, to be, to take exams, to then work, to then take your sports, to do dance lessons, to shop now for your neighbor, and to volunteer for your church, and to extend. And what tends to be a pattern that I notice encountering people on the street and doing the healing work is that there is this internal turmoil and conflict, and it suppresses and stifles the spirit to the point that there's something inside where you know there's something not right. And instead of embracing and enjoying the holidays like you may want to, there's this resistance. There's this inability to actually fully be present. I can't tell you how many people I've seen standing in the shopping lines that will just stand there as if they're not even there. Just disappeared. because they're not actually fully honoring the path of their soul. Even by merely going into a store and buying Christmas goods. And it's not the act of the Christmas goods. It has nothing to do with the person that you love, that you want to buy those goods for and celebrate and connect to. It has to do with the allowing to have a pause in your life where you give your body the same exact deep rest that the trees are giving to themselves, that the deer are allowing to give to themselves in hibernation, that the raccoons are giving, the bears are giving it, the bumblebees are hibernating, the frogs are under the earth sleeping. Everything is giving themselves that pause. And it's that self-love that seems to be innate in all of nature. And we as humans somehow lose it as we grow. And it is the soul's path of learning how to reclaim and find that self-love again inside of your hearts. So this winter solstice, this holiday season, I know that it's full of that hustle and bustle time, and I am so very grateful to be on an island right now where I don't have any of that. And my heart is really going out to the energy of the planet right now, because I can feel that tug to want to have that pause and that rest, and the feeling or the obligation or the duty, or just plain you're in that autopilot program of I have to do this is what we do. But really it was only about 50, 60 years ago that this started. We didn't do this consumerism style holiday until there was a reason to consume. So, and a suggestion for you would be to possibly give yourself the time to pause with your family. Go have a cup of tea with your friend instead of slaving all day baking a ton of cookies and exhausting yourself and then stopping by and saying, here you go, Merry Christmas, let me give you a hug, I don't have time. What would it look like to take out those gifts? And maybe there's a part of you that feels guilty if you don't give gifts. Or something that I realized in my own self, I like to bake and make food. And I realized the other day, am I making food to be accepted? And is there a fear in me that if I don't cook a ton of food for people, that maybe I won't be approved of or accepted? So I really took some time to do some internal looking to see what is the authentic truth of me making food. Am I really authentically making it from my heart? And I came up with some really lovely insight for myself. So that was me taking a pause, allowing myself the time, just like that seed under the soil, to gestate, giving myself the rest that I need, so that when the energy of spring comes, you will be ready for the new growth that is to emerge in your life, whatever that means, projects, babies, a new job, quitting your job, extending yourself more than you normally would. And to increase your health and vitality, it's really important to honor this season in particular. I always find that this is the most important season to really align with. The rest of them come easily. This one, not so much. So take the time to really give yourself a chance to sink in and be peaceful, so that then we can actually sing that song, Let There Be Peace on Earth, and let it begin with me. And I wish you a most beautiful holiday. I love you. I bless you. I thank you.